All right, guys, this is the unit review. Tuesday night, Wednesday's a quiz. Let's knock this out. Okay, I'm going to start with probably the more challenging stuff and work through in reverse order on the video so you can get to the stuff you need to. When we talk about basic quadrilaterals, four sides, you got perimeter, you got area of squares, of rectangles. It's all the same formulas. So let's talk about perimeter here. Remember, perimeter is the distance around. Okay, we've done some of these in class. I wish we would have also gotten to do some area problems, which turn out like FOIL, where you multiply. We're just going to do some perimeter problems for this quiz. Okay, the distance around an object. So in the case of something like a rectangular square, you've got two lengths you need to add for the two sides, plus two widths you need to add for the two sides. Another way you can write that or say that is two lengths plus two widths, and that's going to equal your perimeter. So I'll do the one on the left. What's a perimeter of a rectangle that's got length 3x plus 5 and a width of a negative 2x plus 1? So if we were to draw this out, we're just saying here's a 3x plus 5. Here's a negative 2x plus 1. And what's that total distance around, which requires two of those sides and two of that side, two lengths, two widths to add. So we'll just do that real quick. 3x plus 5. I'm going to multiply it by 2. You can add two of them together, or you can multiply them by 2. And then I'm going to do 2 of the other one, 2 lengths and 2 widths. Okay, so I did 2 lengths, and then there are 2 widths. Okay, 2 lengths, 2 widths. So I've got 6x plus 10, and then I've got negative 4x minus 2, and at this point we're now just putting together some of those like terms, 6x minus 4x, 2x plus 8. So in terms of x, that's the perimeter of that rectangle. You guys try this one. Go. All right, so you guys are dealing with a negative 3y plus 4 and a 6y minus 7. So again, if we're going to draw that up, it doesn't matter which side you call length and which you call width. It's going to come out the same. So I'm going to have 2 of the negative 3y plus 4. And then I've got to have 2 of the 6y minus 7. So we're going to have negative 6y plus 8. 12y minus 14. Combine any like terms. That's going to give us a 6y. 8 minus 14, negative 8. So there we go. 6y minus 8 is the perimeter of your rectangle. Okay, multiplying binomials. Now, they could come to us looking two ways. You've got two practice problems on the right. This bottom one is a classic FOIL problem. They're two separate binomials, and you're just going to multiply those together. Or they might come looking like the one on the top, which is just the same binomial being squared. So the first thing you'll do is expand it and write it out. And then when you write it out, it'll be just like the lower problem. You'll have two to multiply with each other. They just happen to be the same binomial. I'm going to do that on the left side because that'll cover both parts of the problem, part of the process. So 4x minus 6 squared is really just saying 4x minus 6 times another 4x minus 6. Okay, I expanded it out, it's squared, so there's two of those. And now we can do the actual FOIL problem. Okay, F for first, O for outside. So I'm basically multiplying that first 4x with the other binomial. So I've got 4 times 4, 16. X and x is x squared. Then the 4x times the negative 6 minus 24, and don't forget the x. Let's shrink that down just a little. And now we'll do the other half. the FOIL, remember, first outside, inside, last. We just need to make sure that negative 6 is also multiplied with both parts of the second binomial, and we'll do that in red. Negative 6 times 4x is negative 24x, and negative 6 times negative 6, positive 36. Okay, we end up with 4 terms because we multiplied 4 times. That's the 4 letters in FOIL. And then we'll just put things together. Notice here, that's the only x squared, so that'll go to the answer. We're just looking for any like terms that we can combine. Here I've got... All right, I had to shut down for a minute, but I am back. So we're going to continue looking for our like terms. Here we've got some x's and some more x's, so those will go together. Negative 24, negative 24, negative 48x. And then at the back here, we've got a constant. Here it doesn't have any other like terms, so you just bring them down. If you guys, so notice number 1, right here, this is a normal FOIL problem you'd multiply out. Okay? If it's something that comes squared, you're just going to expand it, and then you take care of it like that normal FOIL problem. So both of your problems look like this, just depending on where they start. But if you guys would like to see the shortcut, or did you notice the shortcut, anytime you are working through a binomial that's squared like that, your first term is going to multiply with itself. So the 16x squared is just the 4x times another 4x. The last term is just the second thing multiplied, the second term of the binomial multiplied with itself, negative 6 times negative 6. So there's always that shortcut. And then this middle term is just 2 of the inside terms multiplied together. So we multiplied to get a negative 24x, and then we multiply the same 2 to get another negative 24x. And we just put the 2 of them together. So if that's a shortcut you want to take, by all means, you certainly don't need to. You can just multiply it out. Why don't you give those 2 a shot, and I'll work through them behind you so you can see how they go. Go. All right, let's do this. Let's move this stuff out of the way. It's a little messy. All right, I'm going to start at the bottom because that's a normal problem to work through without it being squared to begin with. And again, we'll start with FOIL, and I'll start with green like I did. Right there. 3x times the negative 2x, negative 6x squared. And then the O, first and outside. That's what happens at the beginning, and that's the 21x. Now just multiply the second value through. Negative 5 times negative 2, positive 10x. And the last one, that's the rest of FOIL, negative 5 times 7, negative 35. Okay, and again, like terms, which are always, in this type of problem, going to be these middle 2. So I'll put those together, 31x. And the other 2 I'm just going to copy down. Bring down minus 35, bring down the negative 6x squared. Okay, there you go. Now on this second problem, up above, we're just going to expand it. 3p minus 4 times itself. And we're going to use FOIL. 9p squared minus 12p. Another minus 12p. And then that minus 16, or excuse me, plus 16. Put together the 2 in the middle. Those are the like terms. Negative 12 and negative 12 is negative 24p. And then you just copy down the plus 16, copy down the 9p squared. And there you go, FOIL. Either way, it's the same process. Just expand it if it's a squared binomial, and then work out through FOIL. All right, multiplying monomials. Just distribute straight through. And this is really what we just did with our FOIL problems. There's just maybe more here. Negative 6 times 5, negative 30. And now work through your variables. Okay? So I've got 1x and 3x's inside. That's a total of 4x's. Then 2 y's on the outside, 1 on the inside. Remember, if there's nothing there, there's the invisible 1. It's still a total of 3 y's. And 1 z on the outside, 2 on the inside, 3 z's. There you go. That's all there is to it. Now, notice on this second problem, the distributing got moved to the back side. That's fine. They're still connected through that parenthesis, meaning multiply. So it's the exact same problem. You'll just distribute from the back side. So negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24. And then we've got 2 x's and no x's on the outside. So you just bring down the x squared that was there to begin with. Then I've got the 1y here with the 2 y's outside is a total of 3. And then we just move to the next one. The negative 3 times the 11 minus 33. Go back to variables. Y squared and another y squared is y4. And here, negative 3 times 7, negative 21. And just that y squared, you just got to bring that along. Just don't lose anything along the way. Even if there's nothing to multiply with, you just bring that variable into the answer. And there you go. And notice, I almost forgot, I don't have it in standard form. I'm going to move that negative 33 y4 up to the front, and then the 24 behind it, so it's in standard form. I may have forgotten that on another problem. Maybe you caught it. Let's see. Nope, there's only one term up there. There's 2 for you. You try them. Go. All right. We're just multiplying. Negative 12 times negative 5, positive 60. Just count up your variables. 3 p's on the outside, 1 on the inside is 4 p's. 1 q on the outside, 1 on the inside is 2 q's. 2 r on the outside, 4 on the inside, 6 r's. It's as simple as that. All right, on the inside here, doing the exact same thing, but the distributing happens from the back side. Negative 9 times negative 5, 45. 1x and 3x is 4. 2 y's on the left, 1 on the right is 3. Negative 8, or 8 times a negative 5, negative 40. Count up your x's, there's 5. Count up your y's, there's 4. And then negative 1 times negative 5, positive 5. And now we just copy down that x3 and that y. There you go. And again, look for everything being in the right order. We need to move that negative 40 to the front because it has the highest exponent. And then the 45, because it's got the x4 is the second highest exponent. And there you go. All right, put it together, just a little bit of both. You've got some distributing along with some like terms to add up. We've done these in class before. I think it's pretty straightforward. So negative 54, and then count them up. I got 3 total p's and an r. Positive 18, and 2 p's, 3 r's. And let's change that color to keep it clear. Now I've got a minus 10 p squared r3 and a minus 5 p r3. Now look for any like terms. P to the third r, none of those, so that's going to be as far as that one goes. We just copy it to the answer. Then I'm looking here, p squared r cubed, there is one here and another one here, so I'll put those together. 18 and negative 10 is just positive 8 of those p squared r cubes. And then there's just that minus 5p r, the third to bring down. Probably a good idea to cross these out as we use each one, and then by the end we can see that's all we have left, and we use that guy. And that's fine for standard form. They're all third power, So just leave those. All right, you guys try those two. Go. Okay, on yours, we've got some distributing up front here. It's going to be a negative 15x3 minus 24xy. And now you've just got a negative to distribute here, so it's just a minus 9xy minus x cubed, and look for any like terms. There's an x cubed, there's an x cubed, so negative 15 and negative x is negative 16. Don't forget, negative 1 right there. X cubed, those guys are gone. And we've got some xy's. Right there and right there. And that's bad guys and bad guys, so negative 33xy. And then those guys disappear. It's in standard form, so you're good to go. Last one. Let's knock this out. Distributing. That's supposed to be a negative. P2 R3s. Yep, right there at the end. Negative 12 and negative 6, negative 18 of the P2 R3. And I'm thinking as I go, I want to write it in standard form so I don't have to rewrite it. Maybe you guys are getting to that point as well to notice that and remember that. And you guys must laugh at me working with this stupid program. All right, so now that those are gone, I'm going to put these guys, they're also P4, R4. I'm going to put those in front so it's in standard form. 27 minus 2 is 25 of the P4, R4. And there you go. In standard form, finished up. All right, guys, good luck on the quiz.